Good day YouTube and good day world! Welcome to my channel! If you're new to this channel, you're very much welcome. Tonight, we are going to explore the world of clinical trials. But before that, I'd like to thank our frontliners for their endless efforts in saving lives against COVID-19. Again, frontliners, thank you very much. Also, massive shout out to my family, my friends in PCG, colleagues, and Dickies. I hope you're all doing well tonight. Also to Ate Susan, if you're watching, mega shout out to you. Thank you very much for your shrimp platter, veggie spring rolls, cassava, and ube cake. So guys, if you're looking for a tasty meal, try Ate Susan's dishes. You may like her Facebook page, it's Susan's Kitchen. And to my subscribers, mega shout out to you. Thank you very much, and I hope you like our content for tonight. So back to clinical trials. We're going to cover number 1, clinical trial definition. Number 2, clinical trial phases, and number 3, the risk and benefits of joining a clinical trial. So, let's go to the definition. Clinical trials are research studies that involve people in order to explore new methods of enhancing healthcare as well as enhancing or improving people's quality of life. In this field, sponsors like pharmaceutical companies aim to research and develop new medications such as vaccines as well as treatment like chemotherapy. Let's go to the term research subject. A research subject refers to a trial participant, which can be an animal in preclinical stages or human in clinical phases. Then, we've got the treatment and control group. In some clinical trials, such as in those in the latter stages, the participants or the subjects are divided into two groups, which are the treatment group and the control group. The subjects in the treatment group receive the new treatment or the new drug, whereas those in the control group receive a standard drug or a placebo, which is a pill, an injection, or a thing that appears to be a medical treatment, but it's not. Moving on, we've got what we call blinded clinical trial, which can be single-blinded or double-blinded. In a single-blinded clinical trial, one party, which is either the researchers or the patients, know which patients have been assigned or allocated to a certain treatment. On the other hand, in a double-blinded clinical trial, both the researchers and the patients do not know which patients have been allocated or assigned to the treatment. In the field of clinical research, the strongest study design is the double-blinded, randomized, and controlled clinical trial. Then we've got randomization. This refers to the fair assignment or allocation of the drug or treatment to the subjects or study participants, and this is irregardless of the subject's age, gender, civil status, socioeconomic status, and health status. This is to prevent bias in data generation as well as the overall conduct of the study. But what are the phases of clinical trials? Let's find out. A clinical trial has 4 phases. A preclinical phase, phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, and phase 4. Some sources say that preclinical phase is phase 0. The preclinical phase is the initial step in drug development. In this phase, tissue samples and animal models are used instead of humans. This is because this phase targets how the trial drug works and how effective it is. This phase also determines if the trial drug has any toxic effects to the body. So once positive results are gathered from the preclinical phase, then the researchers may proceed to the actual clinical trial phase. A phase 1 trial is conducted with a small group of people, usually around 20 to 100 people. This phase aims to ensure that the trial drug is safe for use and tolerable for the human body. Phase 1 also tries to determine the ideal drug dosage as well as to screen for possible medication side effects. If the researchers are happy with the phase 1 results, then they may move forward to phase 2. In a phase 2 trial, the researchers target a larger number of subjects to boost data credibility. It usually involves hundreds of patients, and its focus is to check the trial drug's effectiveness and maximum ideal dose. Also, monitoring is still active, although it focuses on the acute or short-term axis. Phase 2 usually lasts for several months to 2 years. Now we finished phases 1 and 2 of clinical trials, then let's go to phase 3. Phase 3 trials involve around thousands of subjects, such as more than 1,000 to 5,000 subjects, and they may come from various parts of the world. This phase aims to boost result credibility by establishing statistically significant data. That's why more subjects are enrolled in the trial. Also, phase 3 focuses on safety, effectiveness, and side effects, especially now that thousands of participants are involved. This trial phase may last up to 4 years. So following a successful phase 3 trial, the sponsor or the drug developer may apply for a new drug application to the Food and Drug Administration or the FDA. The FDA will then review the drug proposal as well as inspect the manufacturing, and if they're happy with both, then they may give the green light for drug marketing as well as post-marketing, which is our clinical trial phase 4. Also known as post-marketing, a phase 4 trial involves larger and diverse populations such as children and elderly. In addition to safety and effectiveness, this phase also focuses on the overall use and long-term effects of the medications. As the researchers are trying to identify long-term drug effects, phase 4 trials usually take several years to complete. So there you go guys, these are the phases of a clinical trial. So you've got the preclinical phase, you've got the actual phases 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now, let's go to the risks and benefits of participating in a clinical trial. One of the risks in joining clinical trials is that one may not receive the new treatment. This applies in trials that utilize randomization to prevent bias in treatment allocation to the study subjects. So guys, randomization is the fair allocation of treatment, whether it's the standard treatment, a placebo, or a trial treatment, into a subject, regardless of age, gender, civil status, socioeconomic status, as well as health condition. The subject may receive either the standard treatment, the trial treatment, or a placebo. Placebo is a substance, for instance, a medication that has no therapeutic effect. Also, jumping into a clinical trial involves commitment, such as time and money. In some trials, you may be required to go to the clinical research site to receive the trial drug, such as a tablet or an injection, and you may also need to spend money for the fare or gas if you're driving. While clinical trials have got some risks, they've also got some benefits. In terms of clinical trial benefits, one of which is the potential receipt of the new treatment or the trial drug. Going back to randomization, the trial drug may be allocated to you. Thus, you may have the benefits of that drug. Also, safety monitoring is critical in conducting clinical trials. You'll be asked to report any adverse effects or signs and symptoms to the clinical site staff through site visits, phone calls, and records. This is to ensure that adverse events are recorded, reported, and treated if necessary. Participating in a clinical trial also allows you to be a part of the development of a new drug or medication. Some may feel proud that they have helped in the rise of a new treatment, which promotes the health and prevents diseases in large populations. Subject safety is a prime concern and top priority in clinical trials. Therefore, there's a governing body that ensures that all trials and researches are conducted with due respect to inviolability of life. That body is called the Institutional Review Board or the IRB. The Institutional Review Board or IRB is also known as Independent Ethics Committee or IEC or Research Ethics Board or REB. And this body has three main roles. IRB's first role is to protect the rights and welfare of human research subjects. Since clinical trial phases 1 to 4 involves human subjects, it's important to uphold human rights such as right to information and right to informed decision making. For example, the clinical research team should provide full information about the trial during the informed consent process, encourage the participants to ask questions. They should also be allowed to participate without any coercion or force, as well as to freely end or voluntarily end their participation in the trial. The IRB also reviews and monitors biomedical researches involving human subjects. It's the role of the IRB to scrutinize the research protocol just to check if it upholds respect to human life. This is a pro-life action that ensures that all clinical trial procedures are safe to the human subjects. Lastly, the IRB approves or disapproves clinical trial procedures. Following a thorough review of the clinical trial protocol, the ethics committee may approve or disapprove a certain procedure in the trial. The IRB also has the power to request amendments from the clinical research team to ensure that the trial is conducted with integrity while protecting subject safety. So guys, that's IRB and its functions. So guys, this ends our video for today regarding clinical trial and its 4 phases. And before we end, let's move on to the quote of the day. This quote is from US politician Ike Skelton, who said that modern medical advances have helped millions of people live longer and healthier lives. We owe these improvements to decades of investment in medical research. I agree with Ike, since years of clinical trials have led to the development of new treatments such as medications and procedures, which have helped promote health and counter illnesses. I hope for the success of the COVID-19 clinical trials so we could move forward to the end of this pandemic. So guys, thank you very much for watching today's video. I hope you like our content for today. If you like the content of this video, feel free to click on the thumbs up button, subscribe, and hit the bell for future updates. So for now guys, I'll see you in our next video. Bye!